Hey everyone, time for another book haul. This time it's all the horror books that I bought in August. As usual, we're starting off with the big names, some of the authors that everyone has. I've got Stephen King, Green Mile, and I've got all the books. So, yeah, happy to find a little collection of these. The Two Dead Girls, The Mouse on the Mile, Coffee's Hands, The Bad Death of Edouard Delacroix, Night Journey, Coffee on the Mile. Cool. Stephen King, It. Stephen King, Misery. This is one I haven't had before, so I was really happy to find this. Probably one of his few really well-known novels that I didn't have yet. Awesome. Stephen King, Night Shift. I have read this one before. It's great. This is a pretty rough copy, but that's alright. Got some newer Stephen Kings. It's Finders Keepers and Mr. Mercedes. Moving on, we got Dean Koontz, Watchers. This is supposed to be one of his really good ones. K.R. Dwyer, The Face of Fear. Now this is Koontz again, under a pseudonym. Yeah, I'm a sucker for any sort of like pseudonym type stuff. Getting the original one where it doesn't say Dean Koontz on it anywhere. I was really happy to find this because I've never seen this particular cover anywhere. So I was really happy that I recognized the pseudonym and the title of the book. Peter Straub, Ghost Story. This one I have the hardcover of, but I was happy to find the paperback. Cool. Peter Straub, Magic Terror. So this is 7 short stories. There you go. Peter Benchley, Jaws. I have a super beat up copy of this somewhere, so I was happy to find a much better condition one. Sean Hudson, Spawn. Cool. John Saul, Brainchild. James Herbert, Haunted. Whitley Strieber, Cat Magic. This one I was really excited about. The cover is great. Brian Keane, Ghoul. John Wyndham, The Day of the Triffids. I probably could have put this in the science fiction pile, but I don't know. I decided on horror. Yep. Wild Blood by Nancy A. Collins. Mist Over Pendle by Robert Neal. Donald Beeman, Avatar. Joe Donnelly, Bane. I've got a anthology here, The Mammoth Book of Body Horror. So let's look who's inside. Yeah, a couple of real classics there that I'm glad to have. Who Goes There and The Fly. Just because it'd be tough to find that in vintage copies. Yeah, awesome. I've got a couple of young adult horror books. I wouldn't usually get these, but I don't know. I thought the covers on these two were so cool. Night Terrors by Jim Murphy. Funhouse by Diane Ho. Got quite a few vampire novels, so put them all together. In Hot Blood by Petru Popescu. It says erotic horror. So maybe like a Anne Rice style thing. Tempting Fate by Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough. Now, I think this one's part of a huge series, and this is the only book that I've got. So I think the Count Saint Germain, I think that's a reoccurring character. Yeah, hopefully it can be read as a standalone because I don't see too many Chelsea Quinn Yarbroughs around here. I've got a few more Brian Lumleys. Necroscope 5, Dead Spawn. Cool. Vampire World 2, The Last Airy by Brian Lumley. Really cool cover art on that one. I have to start keeping track of what Necroscope books I've got. I'm starting to forget. All right. Vampire World 3, Blood Wars. Cool. Getting into a few that might be more like thrillers. Tough to categorize books sometimes. If someone's mostly a horror author and they wrote a thriller or two, I kind of just put them in the horror section. We got Doll's Eyes by Barry Wood. The Foundation by F. Paul Wilson. The cover compares it to John Grisham, so this just might be a legal thriller. Anyway, we'll see. Chasing the Boogeyman by Richard Chisma. This one's like a fictional story done in the style of true crime. So like a fake true crime book. Which isn't really that appealing to me, to be honest. And everything I've read about Richard Chisma makes me want to read the book less. But oh well, I've got it now. So we'll see. John Gotti, The Snake. That's a very low quality author photo. That looks like a police sketch or something. And last one, Strange Conflict by Dennis Wheatley, which looks like it's some sort of voodoo book, right? Unfortunately, this book's quite damaged, but the goat's head looked cool, so I wanted it anyway. All right, and that's it for the haul. I'll be back pretty soon with part 2, and I'll show off all the science fiction, westerns, and spy stuff that I bought in August. All right, thanks for watching. See ya.